Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Calisha Bennett. She is the founder of Grounded and she is a beautiful mom of 5 children. So assalamu alaikum, thank you so much for coming.
Alaikum salam, Lara. Thanks for having me.
No worries. So can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so mother of 5, very
Mashallah.
busy mother of 5, alhamdulillah, as all mothers are very busy.
Yeah.
And I have my own business called Grounded, where I teach Quran, Tajweed, Islamic studies and topics connected to faith, identity and confidence for Muslim women.
Okay, so what are we going to be making today?
So today we're going to make a really simple protein shake for post-workout after a woman has done a bit of strength training, as well as a yogurt bowl, which is like a nice sweet treat that can replace making bad choices for dessert.
Oh, okay, that sounds nice and I need that. So stay tuned, guys.
The MATW team is on the ground every single day in Gaza, delivering your donations. Every single dollar counts. Every single meal is saving lives right now in this time of crisis. Give now and give generously.
Okay, so Calisha, can you take us through what you're going to be making today?
Yep, so we're going to make a post-workout smoothie. Really quick, really easy, only a few ingredients to make sure you're getting protein after you've had a strength training workout. And also we're going to have a little bit of, focus on the concept of creatine and the importance of it.
Oh, okay. So can you tell us what we need for this?
Yep, so to make a post-workout smoothie where you want to get your protein in, because you need to have some protein in your system within a few hours after you've done strength training. So a smoothie is like the easiest way.
Of course.
And we're going to have the option to make a yogurt bowl too, because some people like something a little bit more wholesome and hearty as opposed to just a liquid drink. I'm a bit like that. I like more solid kind of food sources after I've had a workout. So yeah, for the smoothie, really simple, some protein powder, some creatine, a high quality creatine and protein powder, always very important, not to buy just the cheap stuff that your body can't synthesize. Just some basic berries. Blueberries are like a must-have staple in my house and in my kitchen. And then a banana, and we've brought a nice overripe banana because you've got a lot more of nutrient and vitamins in overripe banana as opposed to an underripe or an unripe banana. So yeah, the bruises are an indicator that it is at its best time to be used.
Really? I didn't know that. Usually we like try not to eat that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then for the
yogurt bowl, again, some protein. So I've got 2 flavors here today. I've got the salted caramel and the cacao. Normally I like to use vanilla. I'm very just basic. I don't like too many flavors going on, but we're going to use the salted caramel and you'll see how it tastes.
Okay.
And a Greek yogurt, so non-sweetened Greek yogurt. And then we've got some toppings that you can add to your yogurt bowl. You can also infuse the blueberries through it, some strawberries. Some people like their things sweeter in general, whether it's their smoothie or their yogurt bowl, and they put honey in it. For toppings, my daughter makes like granola each week, homemade granola. So she bakes that, puts it in a jar. You could have a bit of peanut butter, some chia seeds or some nuts on top. We've got some strawberries there.
So basically you can have the yogurt and then whatever toppings you prefer you can add on top.
Yeah, that's right. So you make your yogurt mix using the protein and the creatine in your yogurt. So that's your sweetening aspect, and then you're getting just the goodness that you need, especially after a workout if you're doing strength training.
Okay, perfect.
So these are things that we have all week, every week, because myself and my 2 teenagers both train. So my son's 18, my daughter's 15, and we train maybe 6 days a week, all of us. And so yeah, that's another big important part too. Like as an adult, and especially research is showing that for mothers, if mothers train and exercise, their kids tend to do the same. So it's very important for us as women to model the importance of health, being one of the greatest amanas that we have from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to look after our health. All right, so we need our whizz blender or our whizz blender cup. You can use a big jug blender as well. So we'll put the water in first so that our protein powder doesn't stick to the bottom. Everyone knows how annoying that is when you're shaking and you can't get it out. Lara,
so if you don't want water, you can have the milk, right?
You can use coconut water, you can use full cream milk, or for some people they like skim milk, but I'm a bit traditional, like it should be full cream. Hopefully, if you can get raw milk, unpasteurized, unhomogenized, but it's probably criminal these days.
So why is it important for women to actually, do strength training?
Yeah, so strength training is essential. You can put that in, Lara. So strength training is really important for women, especially when it comes to their hormonal health, their bone density. Research is showing in terms of longevity for human beings, men and women, muscle mass is an important factor that's related to people living longer, as in how much muscle mass you have attached to your bone. So being muscular, having muscles instead of, you know, a soft body with very low muscle, high fat level in the body is not conducive for living a long life. So an important part of building muscle is you have to put strain on your bone, and that's what builds muscle. And what is strain? Strain on the bone is that you have to lift weights with your skeletal system. So when you lift, for example, a dumbbell or a kettlebell off the floor, the strain on your skeleton in that movement is what builds the muscle.
Okay, so that means, you know, your bones is stronger. And I know that women, when they are older, they get a lot of like bone issues and stuff, which is
osteoporosis. Yeah, so a lot of women, when they reach their postmenopausal age, especially because of the drop in estrogen, no more estrogen production because you're no longer in your years of fertility, that drop in and loss of estrogen results in a thinning of the bone. And in order to supplement that or replace that estrogen that you no longer have because you're in menopause, strength training helps to create those same hormones that strengthen the bone. So it's very, very important. So if you don't want to be a hunchback by the age of 55, 60, if you don't want to suffer from falls and broken hips and all these sorts of things, which a lot of elderly people go through, the goal is to keep your bones strong. How do you keep your bones strong? You have to do weight-bearing exercise. Also
and I do hear a lot of women do break their hips and then they don't even live a lot after that. Isn't that right?
So when they look at the prognosis for women who, once they have broken a hip, there's a high likely chance that they'll die not long after that. Wow. So there's a lot of concerns, serious concerns in terms of not just your lifespan, but your overall quality of life and your all-round sense of well-being and strength and being able to function. So imagine not being able to pray, standing up when you have to sit down, you can't prostrate on the ground because you can't get back up. Imagine, walking around the house, dealing with grandchildren when you're an older woman and you're not mobile, you can't move around as much. So it's very important.
Agree. So once they do the strength training, it makes it better for future.
So a woman should be doing about 3 days a week or so of strength training with a pop of cardio in between. So a little bit of high-paced light jogging or sprints mixed in with some walking. So it doesn't have to be these crazy workouts. It's just put your body under a little bit of stress and pressure. And that's something that's like symbolic of life. Yeah, you can't grow until you're put under some pressure.
Yeah, that's
we have to go under a little bit of stress in order to stay motivated and forward moving. And that starts with the body, and then that ripples out to the mind and to the soul. If you can make your body resilient and strong and adapt to stress, then your mind and your heart can do the same when life tests you as well.
That's actually right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we've got the banana and the water. We're going to put some berries in and try not to make a mess on the bench. So blueberries, amazing in terms of antioxidant, very low in calories as well. I think that's maybe enough. So some people like to add honey, as I said, to make it sweeter. Some people have a sweet tooth, but I find that the protein powder is sweet enough. So that's the chocolate one. I'm going to use the salted caramel because I think the flavors go better. Vanillas and caramels go better with like banana, if you think caramel and banana. So just 1 scoop is plenty. So that's your 1 scoop of your protein powder, and that's going to help to build the muscle post-workout. If you don't have protein after you work out and you fast and you only have a coffee, your body's going to be depleted. Very hard to build muscle.
So if they don't take this kind of protein, can they use an alternative? Like for example, they tell us have eggs or meat or...
The food part is very important. So the most potent forms of protein are whole milk, eggs, and then meat. Okay, so those are the 3 key, and that's in order of potency. Okay. So milk is the best way, but you have to have raw whole milk. But what we're using here is whey protein, and this is from grass-fed cows, which is very important as well because grain-fed animals, their meat and their milk is different. It doesn't have the same nutritional quality. You want quality life, you need a quality body. You need quality muscles, you need quality fuel for your muscles. So it's very important, it's all interconnected.
Nice.
So I'm going to put just 1 scoop of creatine. So you can have up to 5 grams of creatine in a day. So what is creatine? A lot of people are like, what the heck's that? Is this for like body? Is this for bodybuilding, you know, supplement to get all beefy and whatnot? But creatine is actually a beautiful, amazing part that our body actually makes on its own. So, but we supplement it because if you're training, what it does is that it fuels the energy source in your body. So say, for example, a basic healthy person, their bodies can exert and utilize, because creatine's an energy source. So we get 5 to 7 seconds of outbursts. If I had to run really fast, creatine will power me for a 5-7 seconds, like really fast sprint. An athlete will have about 15 seconds. So their bodies can create a lot more creatine. So for when you're doing strength training, often your body can get depleted, and to give you more strength and more energy in your workouts, creatine is very important. But what they're finding now is some amazing research for women particularly when it comes to creatine is supporting again when your bones start to thin, as well as your neurological function. They're finding so because creatine is like the power charger in your body, your brain uses a huge amount of energy, right? Okay. So creatine supplements also your neurological function.
Wow.
So, you know, when you get tired, mentally tired, so creatine is really helping with that. And when we look at the deterioration of elderly in terms of their cognitive function, so elderly people suffer from dementia, Alzheimer's, the brain starts to deteriorate, and we're starting to see people in their 50s and 60s, their brains are deteriorating.
Yeah, and they can't remember things, and they repeat what they're talking about 100 times.
So not only does exercise, strength training, and then having the right food and supplements in your body make you healthier overall, but your brain function. So in every way, you're going to be better and healthier. So we're crazy not to. Why have a croissant? A chocolate-filled croissant when you could have something like this that's going to fuel your brain and you feel more energetic afterwards. I agree. Or a croissant and we feel guilty and tired afterwards. Yeah. So we have to make those choices. It doesn't mean don't have the croissant. I love croissants.
Well, I was going to say I love my croissant.
But not every day. Not every day.
Yes, I agree.
But after you've had a workout, you're more motivated to eat healthy. So if you start the day with a workout, your day will go better in terms of your eating choices, your energy stores, and all of that.
Even praying, waking up early, sleeping early as well.
So I train in the morning after Fajr, and my kids are still asleep when I get home, and then we get up for school, and my workout's done. I don't feel bad. I'm not tapping into anyone else's time, and I have more energy throughout the day.
That's amazing, mashallah.
So that's ready to whiz up, Lara. I'll let you do that.
Gonna whiz it up and come back to you guys. Action. Okay, so after we've mixed it, now we're going to try it. So what's the misconception? Again, so after we've mixed it, now we're going to try it. So Calisha, tell us what's the misconception about strength training?
So often when it comes to lifting weights, or for example, some people are like, oh, women taking protein, are you trying to be a big beefy bodybuilder? Trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that.
I hear that a lot.
And the reality is, no, it's very hard for a woman to get very big and bulky without extra supplementation and a serious, like, structured kind of diet and lifestyle and training system, and it will actually impact her health, especially her reproductive health. But for general women, the staple amount of doing 3 days a week of strength training and maybe 1 or 2 days of brisk walking and some sprinting in between, and then taking some protein or eating really well in terms of your protein intake, or having creatine, you'll become fit and tight and toned. You won't grow big. It's very, very difficult for a woman to grow big. We don't have the testosterone to power that, alhamdulillah. So, it's a common misconception. So, have a taste, have a try.
Okay,
see what you think.
Bismillah. It is sweet, like without adding any honey or anything.
Yeah, we didn't need extra
so nice
honey.
And it's with water, like.
Yeah, we used water, not milk. It's more creamy if you use milk. But it just depends.
So nice, I like it. So guys, make sure to try it. Okay, so now we're going to be making our yogurt. And Calisha, this morning I was watching your page, your Instagram page, and I saw the video of your introduction and how you help women, and I was so touched by it. Like you were talking about a lot about, you know, faith, strength, and, you know, how to be connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so within my business Grounded, my focus is on like the holistic woman, not just one aspect like your deen or your spirituality being one part of who you are. For me, it's the whole person, and the process that's involved in nurturing the whole person and the support that women need to feel like they are whole, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us whole, but we just don't see it, we don't realize it, we don't know how to bring that forward within ourselves. You know, we tend to doubt ourselves, things happen to us in life, we lose ourselves, we get hurt, we fall into a sense of low confidence, whether in our religion or in our own sense of womanhood. We don't really know what our identities are. Often we all didn't maybe go to the best schools, or we didn't go to Islamic schools, or our parents didn't know the religion to teach us. And you have to find your own path along the way. If you don't find your own path, a lot of women express that they feel lost. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're meant to do. And I think it's more common than ever, you know, because a lot of the time women are jumping online to look for sources of soothing. We use social media to soothe. Whatever comes up in the algorithm, oh, that made me feel a little bit better for a moment. Oh, there's something to buy. Or, oh, that's what I went through too. Somebody relates. A stranger on the internet relates.
And you feel like the phone hears what, you know, or like saves what you're searching. And like, for example, if you're going through hardship, it usually brings out all those videos, sad videos that you can actually read to. So yeah, I actually agree with that.
It will feed you what you're already going through instead of actual solutions. Because not only are the phones listening all the time, but they're even, the technology now, it's tracking your eyes with how long you spend on a video and how you watch it. It knows when you're crying, when you're smiling at your screen. So no one's safe. So it's not random. You know, whatever you're seeing isn't a random feed. It's been curated. So the reality of that, when we look at the nurture or tarbiyah of a person, the creation or the support, the nurture and education of who you will become as a human being, for us, we go through that through our parents, through school, through our sheikhs, through our mosques. Now we're in times where these screens are doing the tarbiyah. It's nurturing you to be a certain way, to think a certain way, and to have a certain vibration level, like a certain frequency. And it's a low frequency, which is why the masses are depressed and anxious, looking for the next very quick dopamine hit. So people are addicted to the internet. That's the reality. People are addicted to social media, can't get off it, doom scrolling, brain rot. Look at all these terms, These are not patterns and trends that are connecting to the upliftment of human beings and the strengthening of women in particular. We're seeing the opposite, the degradation of women and women, you know, dependent on pharmaceutical medications, or instead of strength training and eating well, women want to turn to things like Ozempic and weight loss pills. We all want a shortcut. We all want a life hack. We're scared of the hard work required for building a robust human being.
That's actually so true. Like I see a lot of women that, you know, and that are looking for the easy solution, as you said, which is the, what do you think of actually about taking pills?
What do I think about it? People forget about the consequences of it and do the research. You know, I had a look into the topic because it popped up in my news feed, because it knows I'm into, you know, training and I care about my health. So of course it's going to come in my news feed. And I just found the videos offensive and dangerously alluring, because the way it was marketed was very polished and slimy in a way to convince me, just give it a go. And someone who looked like me, a woman in hijab, was in one of the ads going, just give it a go. It's the best thing I ever did. But what research shows is that when you take these weight loss pills, people are actually terrified of getting off it, because when people get off it, the weight comes back. So what happens is they don't want to get off the pills. They're addicted, paying big money, subscriptions to, you know, that delivery that comes to the door, and they don't know how to get out of it. Whereas if you do it the hard way, it might seem like it's longer, but think about who you'll become in 6 months of the discipline of training every day or every few days, of fixing your eating, of being outdoors more, of being more active, of encouraging your children, of being just an energy that talks about health and fitness. And you know yourself that after 6 months, even if you only lost 5 kilos or a couple of kilos, you know you did it, and that was through sweat and tears.
Exactly, yeah. So, and as you said before, that once we train and work hard from now, it also helps us in the future as well.
That's right. And you know, when we look at strength training, it's also known as resistance training. In order to strengthen a muscle, it needs to experience resistance. And we as human beings too, we tend to want to run from the hardships of life. But you have to go through the hardships of life. That is the resistance
Succeed.
on your spiritual muscle, you know, and you being able to fix your mindset and fix your heart. It's an example of that. So yeah, so we've just put some yogurt in the bowl. So a couple of scoops, depending on how much you want. Often you only need maybe, it's probably 1 cup or 3/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt. And then we're going to add the protein to that. So that's your sweetening aspect. That's increasing you can mix it. Increasing the amount of protein that's in it. Greek yogurt does have some protein because obviously yogurt comes from milk. Yeah. So we mix that in, and we're also going to add our creatine. So remember, you're not having a smoothie and a yogurt bowl both in the same day. No. And having too much creatine and too much protein powder. But a thing about creatine too is you can't actually like overdose on creatine. It's very safe, no side effects, and it's one of the most studied and researched supplements.
Okay.
So very safe and healthy, and it doesn't have a taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have a taste of that anyway, Lara, so you can see what the yogurt's like on its own. If you like.
Yeah, I'll taste it. Good. Yeah,
it's good. Yeah.
Nice.
Instead of buying those packet sachets full of sugar and all this other stuff, you know, for sweet nice. Yogurt, you make that for the kids. Well, not for the kids actually. You don't want the protein. No. Just Greek yogurt with honey for the kids, but for you as an adult. All right, so we're going to add berries to that because berries are just good. This adds the sweetness, the fruit, the antioxidants, and vitamins as well. So that's enough for that.
Can you tell us now? I know a lot of women who are watching us. They've maybe never been to the gym. They've never even exercised. When is the best time for them to start, or should they just get up and start now?
Start now, definitely.
Yeah.
You're never too old to start is a very important one too. Like I've had ladies reach out and say, you know, I've spoken about strength training before at community events, and some ladies are, you know, almost 50 and they're like, I've never trained, but I'm going to do it. And what else can you do except benefit from that? Of course, you have to do it safely and with the advice of, like, you know, if you have health issues, your doctor, or advice from a personal trainer is probably a good idea. And to take it slow as well. So it's not about doing what someone who's been training for 5 years, doing 100 kilo, 150 kilo deadlift. Like, you're not going to go straight into that. You're going to start with really light weights and gradually build up your strength. And there are beautiful examples of women who started training in their 60s and then, you know, they lost heaps of weight and they're in their 70s and they're just fit and strong. They have muscle tone. Wow. They're standing up straight. They're active. They're vibrant. So there's a big contrast. You know, I remember learning something about aging. You know, aging. What is aging? Aging is just you choosing to be inactive with your body, and then your body just shuts down because you're not using it. Yeah. So it's called atrophy. Like, it, you know, anything that doesn't have movement in it just starts to shrivel and shut down, and that's what will happen to our bodies if we don't use them. When you think elderly person who's inactive, they're just shriveled and closed and low energy. But if you keep your body open and moving and active and keep the cells in your body vibrating through movement, it'll stay alive longer and better. Oh. In ways. Obviously, there's no cure for death. You know, this is the only guarantee in life. But you can't escape death when it's written for you, or even illness and sickness. But you don't have to have a hand in it. Don't be someone who has contributed and caused your own, you know, your own downhill trajectory. You should be someone who's always climbing upwards, you know, and striving. And as a basic example of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in how he walked in forward moving pace and angle, always somewhere, headed somewhere, always aiming towards something. And that's how we should be in our energy as believers. We're not here to turn into supermodel bikini body influencers. Yeah, we just want to be healthy and strong, lead a good example for our children, live long and healthy lives where we're serving our Creator through what we do in our day-to-day work.
Yeah, mashallah, that's amazing. Okay, so now we're going to be adding the...
So we've done the protein and creatine in the yogurt. We put some blueberries on it, and then you can pop some strawberries on top. So my daughter's, she's made some homemade granola. So she does it with oats and chia seeds and nuts and sometimes I think this one has a little bit of apple in it. Nice. And then we just kind of crumble that over if you like a little bit of texture as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, so that looks good. So we'll put some of that on, just you can crumble it on top. My kids also like peanut butter on there. That's like their treat thing. I'm not a big peanut butter person. Like, I never opt for like the peanut butter smoothies and things like that. So they put like just a dollop of peanut butter on top to give it like that bit of nuttiness. And then again, if you want to, some people like extra honey on top. I don't like. I find it sweet enough as you taste it.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was
or
very
you can
good.
put nuts and chia seeds as well, and then it comes out like a pretty interesting and enjoyable. Like either it's a breakfast or even a small bowl. Or what I would do too is put them in jars and leave them in the fridge, and then you can add the granola right before you eat it, and they're just ready to go throughout the day. So instead of having a bowl of ice cream, cake, muffins, you have this to hit that sweet spot, but also get nutrients in your body.
That's amazing. Okay, I'll be doing that inshallah. Wish me luck. To start, I started gym, which is after I heard the weightlifting aspect from you from before.
Yeah.
You actually inspired me to start going gym, because usually I used to go gym, but I've never thought of weightlifting. But after I heard you talk about it, I actually started, looking into it, talking to my trainer about it, because I feel like, yes, it is important for us, for our future, for our bones.
Definitely.
So definitely,
When we look at our pursuits, what we want to do in our lives, if at a fundamental level, part of our day-to-day life doesn't involve looking after our physical form, then what use is all the rest? What use is having degrees and achievements and a big job and a fancy house and a fancy car and, family members and whatnot, and your own body feels in pain or weak, or you're easily injured? You just don't feel good about your body, or you don't feel good in your health. So it should be, when you look at the priorities of your life, your health, your fitness, your strength of body should be really high in that priority list.
I actually agree. And because once you're fit, you can actually do the things that you like. But if once you get older and you start getting tired, as you mentioned, that means we won't be able to do everything that we like. We might even not like socializing with people. So yes, I actually agree with everything you said.
Yeah, definitely. So if your muscles benefit, your aesthetic benefits, your bones benefit, your brain, your organs, your heart, your lungs.
And at the same time, we are taking care of our, our body is not ours. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to us. It's an amana. So I actually agree. Okay, so now I'm going to be tasting this. And before I taste it, I wanted to ask you, do you have any last tips about being a strong Muslim woman?
Yeah, so beyond the physical strength aspect, which we covered, a few different tips today, hopefully sisters commit to that and know that it's a spiritual responsibility as well as, a lifestyle and a personal responsibility that you owe to yourself. It's for your creator, and it's in appreciation for the body that God has gifted you. But beyond just physical strength, we also have to focus on our spiritual strength. And that's something that's often neglected as well, because we think that, we're too busy, right? Day to day, you get busy with the kids, busy with the house, cooking, chores, work, training. What's left? Like, what do I do with my heart or my spirituality? And the reality is, if you don't charge up and strengthen your spiritual battery, all the rest will burn out, and the rest won't make you happy ultimately. So it's very important to look at what's going on internally within you, connect to some sources of support, teaching and education. You have to educate your soul if you want your soul to be strong. And that's something that's part of our tradition as Muslims, that our growth and our strength of faith comes through education and knowledge. So connect with whoever you can to learn from, someone who's upright, who practices what they preach, who can connect you to a path that makes sense for you in terms of you relate to them as well, and you feel like you can understand the religious teachings through what they teach you.
It can be simple as reading Quran, for example, one page, or I actually agree with that. But yes, okay, so now I'm going to be tasting this. So bismillah. I like that. It's so nice, so sweet. It has all the nutty flavor. But so thank you so much, Calisha, for coming out today and sharing these amazing recipes and talking about strength and spiritual and women. I hope you all benefited from this, inshallah, and please make sure to follow her page. She shares a lot. So yes, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Lara.
Jazakallah khair. And we'll see you guys all soon, inshallah.